The classified US Air Force project aimed to nuke the moon wasn't just a plot for the next sci-fi movie. It was a genuine initiative known as Project A119. Interestingly, the US wasn't the only nation with such ambitions. What would happen if we actually detonated a nuclear bomb on the moon, and why on Earth or the moon would we even consider such a thing? To understand, we need to step back in time. We need to understand the political climate, the scientific curiosity, and the sheer audacity of the Cold War era. The year is 1958. The Cold War is raging. The space race is on. It was a time of paranoia and one-upmanship. Both the US and the Soviet Union were obsessed with proving their technological superiority. Space exploration became the ultimate arena for this competition. When the Soviets launched Sputnik, the first artificial satellite in 1957, it sent shockwaves through the American public. The space race was on, and the US was lagging behind. Project A119 was, in part, a desperate attempt to catch up. The United States, in a move straight out of science fiction, considered detonating a nuclear bomb on the moon. This wasn't a joke, it was a top-secret plan, but it wasn't just about politics. Some scientists saw a lunar detonation as a grand scientific experiment. Of course, this experiment came with potentially catastrophic consequences. The plan, thankfully, never came to fruition, but it existed. Declassified documents reveal a chilling reality. Military minds pondered the strategic advantage of a lunar mushroom cloud. They saw it as a show of force, a way to intimidate the Soviet Union. The idea seems absurd today. Let's be clear. Nuking the moon would be a terrible idea. The immediate aftermath of a nuclear detonation on the lunar surface would be nothing short of cataclysmic. A blinding flash of light visible from Earth would be the first sign of disaster. The initial flash would be followed by a glowing cloud of superheated gas and dust, rising hundreds of miles above the lunar surface. Then, a massive shockwave would ripple through the lunar surface, creating a crater miles wide and launching millions of tons of lunar rock into space. The cloud, illuminated by the sun, would be visible from Earth. Over time, the cloud would dissipate, leaving behind a permanent scar on the moon's face. Some of the lunar debris would inevitably rain down on Earth, posing a threat to satellites and potentially even to life on the ground. Imagine a rain of fire falling from the sky, multiple asteroid impacts, with debris from the moon raining down. Each piece could unleash massive destruction on Earth, with the larger fragments capable of obliterating entire cities in the blink of an eye. The most significant impact wouldn't be visual. The explosion would release a massive amount of radiation into space, creating a hazardous zone around the moon that could last for centuries. This radiation would pose a significant risk to future lunar missions and could even disrupt communications and GPS systems on Earth. But the damage wouldn't stop there. The moon plays a vital role in stabilizing Earth's climate and tides. Disrupting the moon's delicate gravitational balance could have unforeseen and potentially catastrophic consequences for life on Earth. However, some fear far worse consequences. Let's separate fact from fiction for a moment. You might have heard some outlandish claims about what would happen if we nuked the moon. Some people say it would knock the moon out of orbit, sending it hurtling towards Earth. Others claim it would split the moon in two, creating a second moon. Let's be clear, these are just myths. While a nuclear explosion would be devastating, it wouldn't be enough to destroy the moon or alter its orbit significantly. The moon is a massive celestial body, and it would take an unimaginable amount of energy to have such dramatic effects. The truth is, we currently don't have the technology to blow up the moon. However, that doesn't mean we should be complacent. Even if we can't destroy the moon with a nuclear weapon, we can still cause significant damage, both to the moon itself and to the delicate balance of our cosmic neighborhood. But what would happen if we really could destroy the moon? Losing the moon would be far worse than you can imagine. The moon plays a vital role in the creation of life on Earth and is essential for our survival. Without the moon, the night sky would be far darker than anything Earth has ever experienced. The moon reflects approximately 12% of the sunlight that reaches it. However, darkness would be the least of our worries. The moon's proximity to Earth has a greater impact on tides than the sun, with its tidal force being approximately 2.5 times stronger than that of the sun. Without the moon, many marine life forms would go extinct. Additionally, if we were to suddenly lose the moon's gravitational influence, it could release vast amounts of water that were previously affected by its gravity, potentially resulting in massive tidal waves. Then there's the moon's surface. When you gaze at the moon, even with the naked eye, you can't miss its scarred face. These marks are remnants of asteroid impacts throughout Earth's history. In other words, many of those impacts would have struck our planet if not for the moon's protective presence. If we were to lose the moon, we would forfeit our natural defense against asteroid impacts, significantly increasing the likelihood of a fate similar to that of the dinosaurs. Over billions of years, the moon has quite literally taken the hits for our planet. Moreover, we wouldn't need to wait for a distant asteroid to threaten life on Earth. With countless pieces of moon debris flying through space in every direction, both small and large fragments would eventually fall to Earth, raining down upon us and creating a hellish environment, a planet engulfed in fire. Perhaps the only beauty in this scenario would be the ring around Earth, reminiscent of Saturn. The debris left in orbit would form a stunning ring visible in the night sky, assuming anyone survives long enough to witness it. However, even if you do, some of that debris will inevitably descend to Earth, causing far more devastating impacts than any nuclear weapon we currently possess. So don't forget to take a picture of the ring in the sky before it's too late. But that's not all. The moon plays an even larger role in our journey through the solar system. It stabilizes Earth's rotation and helps maintain our position around the sun. Without the moon, both our day and year could change dramatically. This would spell disaster for our orbit, as we currently enjoy a nearly circular and stable path around the sun, which in turn helps sustain consistent seasons without drastic temperature fluctuations. Without the moon, things could become chaotic, leading to hundreds of degrees of temperature differences between seasons. Earth would not be the breathtaking blue marvel it is today without the moon. So if we had planned to nuke the moon in the last century, what risks are we facing today? Based on everything we've discussed, you can breathe a sigh of relief, as there is no known plan to nuke the moon today. The story of Project A119 is a cautionary tale. It reminds us that even in the pursuit of knowledge and progress, we must never lose sight of our ethical obligations. The fact that we even considered nuking the moon raises important ethical questions about our relationship with space. Do we have the right to exploit these celestial bodies for our own gain, even if it means causing harm? Or do we have an obligation to treat them with respect, to preserve them for future generations? When you look at the moon tonight, remember, the moon, silent and serene in our night sky, is a powerful reminder of our capacity for destruction. If we aren't wise about our actions, we could bring about our own extinction. But what if the destruction of the moon isn't in our hands? What if we were to lose our moon to a cosmic bomb? Watch the next video to discover our fate if a comet were to destroy the moon.